Hey guys, we're bringing you a different kind of video today. We know that there's a variety of different skill levels that follow our channel. Some of y'all are experienced, some are beginner hikers, and then some are thinking about starting hiking. And we know when it comes to hiking, there's so much gear and products that it can be overwhelming and difficult to know what to take and what not to take. So we've compiled a list of 14 essentials to take if you are beginning hiking. So the first thing is appropriate clothing. A common mistake we've seen is people wearing everyday comfortable clothes such as jeans and a cotton t-shirt. These clothing items will soak up your sweat, they'll get damp, they'll get heavy, and they'll cause chafing and a pretty uncomfortable experience. Also, if you're hiking a mountain, if you start at the base and you're hiking your way up and you're sweating, your clothes are soaking in all that sweat, by the time you get to your summit, they are wet and still damp, and they're gonna make you very cold. Just remember, cotton kills. You should be wearing clothing that is moisture wicking and made for being active. So along with appropriate clothing, the next thing you should bring is extra layers. Temperatures can fluctuate throughout the day. Whether it's spring or fall, they can change. Also, if you're at the base of a mountain, the temperature at the summit of the mountain can be totally different, and storms can roll in very quickly. So bringing an extra layer for us looks like bringing a down jacket or synthetic jacket, whichever you prefer, an extra pair of pants or leggings, and an extra pair of socks. Please don't throw me your dirty socks, thank you. And so you don't want to be out on the trail and get cold, so bring an extra layer. So as we said, storms can roll in very quickly, so the next thing you need to bring is rain protection. Even if you've checked the weather and it doesn't look like there's going to be any rain, there's still a chance that there could be rain. I bring a lightweight, thin rain jacket, but a $2 poncho can work just as well. So the next thing is shoes. As you can tell in our earlier videos, we both started out in tennis shoes until we could afford better hiking shoes. Hiking shoes really do make all the difference though. But if you're just starting out and getting used to the trail, tennis shoes will work just fine. Just make sure they have a good grip on the bottom and that they protect your toes and the top of your feet. Also, if you're starting out in tennis shoes, make sure you start with easier trails as well. The next thing you need is a day pack. You can get an affordable day pack at Walmart, and that's actually what I started out with until unfortunately a family member's dog spilled my beef jerky that I left in it and tore it to shreds. But that worked wonderful for the time that I had it. Now I'm using just a hand-me-down pack until I can make it to REI to get a better long-lasting pack. You do not need a super expensive day pack to start off with. You just need something that has 2 large pockets that you can put all your supplies in and outside access to water bottles. Alright, so the next thing you need to bring is water. Hydration is crucial. You need to bring more water than you'll think you'll need. Also, the day or night before you go hiking, make sure you're drinking water throughout that day so you wake up the next day hydrated and ready to go. Also, throughout the trail, you want to be drinking your water consistently, not just when you start to feel very thirsty. You may also want to bring a water filtration system just in case, such as a Sawyer Mini, a VersaFlow or a Life Straw. Any of those options are good, just bring one just in case. Also, review the trail beforehand so you know if there are water sources as well as where those water sources are. Also, it doesn't matter what you bring your water in. We like to use Nalgene water bottles because we have found that the water pouches, we drink our water way too fast. But it doesn't matter, it's your preference, whatever you bring. Just bring enough water and drink your water consistently to stay hydrated. The next thing is snacks. You need to bring high energy snacks. Those can be things like beef jerky, dried fruit and nuts, or energy bars. And just like with water, you're going to want to bring more than you think you'll need. The rule of thumb is to bring enough snacks for an entire day. We also like to bring electrolyte packets or a body armor to restore those electrolytes we've lost throughout our hike. So the next thing is a map. You need to have a knowledge of the trail you are going to do. And we realize that most people aren't going to use a paper map or bring a paper map, but if you have that option, it's a great one. There are digital options as well, such as apps like AllTrails that you can download the map of the trail the night beforehand. There are other apps that do this as well, but AllTrails is the one that we like to use. So the next thing is an emergency blanket. These can be used for so many different things, and you're probably not even going to be able to need to use it, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Plus, they're super light and compact, so you probably won't even notice you're carrying it. Another thing you'll hopefully never need, but is a must to take, is a first aid kit. The top things that should be in your first aid kit is antibiotic ointment, band-aids, gauze wrap, moleskin for blisters, Tylenol, and Benadryl. Make sure that everything in your first aid kit you know how to use and nothing is expired. So a headlamp is also something you should take just in case that you probably won't need but should definitely have with you. Because there are instances where you're out on the trail and you're out there a little bit longer than you expected, and you don't want to be out there and you can't see and you get lost or stuck. So take a headlamp just in case. Alright, the next thing you need to take is a fire starter kit. This is something that you will hopefully never need, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Some options to include are waterproof matches, a lighter, a ferro rod, and something that catches, like cotton balls, tissue paper, or fire plugs. Make sure everything is in a waterproof bag, and also personally, I like to take more than one option. The next thing is sun and bug protection. That includes sunscreen, SPF chapstick, a hat, sunglasses, and bug spray, and you want to make sure you reapply those things throughout the day. The final thing you need to take is a knife, and this is for emergencies and protection because you never know when you might be out on the trail and need it to cut some bandage or cut some rope. But another great option to take is a multi-tool. Alright, so I know that list sounds super long and it sounds like we're toting a suitcase out on the trail, but everything we mentioned fits into this small pack. Also, everything we mentioned there is a budget option for, and we will list those below for you. We hope this video helps you to feel more prepared and encourages you to get out there on the trail. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you on our next adventure.